Most of us spend our lives believing that we are in control. We plan meticulously, we set goals, and we work hard to make sure everything goes according to our desires. But what if the very idea of control is nothing more than an illusion? In today's video, we'll explore Alan Watts' profound teachings on the illusion of control and how embracing the flow of life can bring true peace. Watts' philosophy offers a fresh perspective that challenges our need for control, urging us to let go and trust that life unfolds perfectly when we allow it to. Stay with us as we dive into this eye-opening truth, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe for more life-changing content from one of the most insightful thinkers of our time. Alan Watts had a unique way of seeing the world. He argued that much of our suffering comes from our attempt to control everything around us: our relationships, our careers, and even our emotions. We spend so much time trying to manipulate our surroundings, believing that by doing so we can create the perfect life. But Watts believed that this constant need for control is futile because life, by its very nature, is unpredictable and uncontrollable. The harder we try to control things, the more we set ourselves up for disappointment. Imagine how freeing it would be to stop trying to micromanage every detail of your life and instead trust in the natural flow of the universe. Control, according to Watts, is an illusion because life is inherently chaotic. We often think that by planning and preparing, we can prevent bad things from happening or ensure that good things come our way. But Watts reminds us that life doesn't work that way. Unexpected events, challenges, and changes are inevitable, no matter how much we plan. And when we cling to the idea that we can control every outcome, we create tension and stress in our lives. What if, instead of trying to control the uncontrollable, we learn to embrace uncertainty? Could letting go of the need to control actually bring more peace and freedom into your life? Here's part 2 of The Illusion of Control: Alan Watts' eye-opening truth about life. Alan Watts teaches us that our obsession with control is rooted in fear. We fear the unknown. We fear failure, pain, and disappointment. So we cling to the idea that if we just work hard enough, plan meticulously enough, or worry about things long enough, we can somehow prevent the chaos of life from affecting us. But what if, as Watts suggests, this very act of control is the source of our suffering? He reminds us that life is like a river, ever-changing, always flowing, and impossible to fully predict. The more we try to dam up the river and direct its course, the more resistance we create. Watts urges us to let go of the illusion of control and flow with life's natural rhythm. This doesn't mean giving up on our goals or desires. Rather, it's about recognizing that while we can make efforts, we can never guarantee outcomes. There's a difference between putting forth effort and being attached to the results. Watts often compared life to music, saying that the point of music isn't to rush to the end, but to enjoy each note, each moment, as it happens. Similarly, the point of life isn't to reach some state of complete control or perfection. It's to experience the journey fully, without becoming overly attached to how things should turn out. Watts' message is simple but profound: life is unpredictable, and that's okay. The more we accept this, the more peaceful we become. When we stop resisting the flow of life and start accepting it, we free ourselves from the constant anxiety of trying to make everything go our way. Imagine how different your life would be if you stopped stressing over things you can't control, whether it's the opinions of others, unexpected challenges, or even your own emotions. What if you allowed yourself to trust that life has its own plan and that sometimes the best things happen when we surrender and let go? Letting go of control doesn't mean passivity. Watts made it clear that we still have a role to play in our lives. We can take action, make decisions, and influence our surroundings, but we do so with an understanding that we can never fully predict or control the outcomes. Instead of battling against life, we move with it. We learn to trust that even when things don't go as planned, life is still guiding us toward where we need to be. What if the very things you're resisting or fearing right now are actually part of a greater plan to help you grow? One of the most important lessons Watts gives us is that life is inherently uncertain, and that uncertainty is what makes life beautiful. The very things we try to control, our future, our relationships, our careers, are the things that often bring the most unexpected and meaningful experiences when we let go. Watts encourages us to embrace the unpredictability of life, to see it not as a source of fear, but as an opportunity for growth and transformation. What if, instead of resisting the unknown, you began to welcome it as a friend, trusting that life's twists and turns are leading you to where you need to be? Here's part 3 of The Illusion of Control, Alan Watts' eye-opening truth about life. The beauty of Alan Watts' teachings lies in the freedom that comes from surrendering to life's natural flow. When we release the illusion of control, we open ourselves to new possibilities. Watts often said that true freedom is not the ability to control every aspect of life, but the ability to let go of our need to control and simply be present with what is. By doing so, we stop fighting against life and start living in harmony with it. Imagine how freeing it would be to wake up each day with the mindset that no matter what happens, you will flow with it. The stress and anxiety that come from clinging to expectations begin to melt away, and you find yourself more at peace. Think about how much energy we waste trying to control things that are beyond our reach. We stress over what others think of us, we worry about the future, and we fight against our own emotions. But the truth is, no matter how hard we try, we cannot control these things. Alan Watts encourages us to trust that life has a way of working things out, often in ways we never expected. When we stop trying to force things, we create space for life to surprise us. We begin to notice opportunities that we might have missed if we were too focused on trying to control everything. In surrendering to life's flow, we also begin to see that many of the things we thought were problems were simply our resistance to the natural course of events. Watts suggests that what we often perceive as obstacles are really opportunities for growth. When we stop fighting against life and start accepting it, we begin to see that even the difficult moments have something to teach us. The challenges we face are not there to defeat us, but to help us evolve. By letting go of control, we allow ourselves to grow and transform in ways we never imagined. The illusion of control keeps us trapped in a cycle of frustration and disappointment. We spend so much time trying to shape life to fit our expectations that we miss out on the joy of simply experiencing it. Watts reminds us that life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. When we release our need to control, we open ourselves to the present moment, where true peace and freedom reside. It is in the act of letting go that we find our greatest strength. We learn that we don't need to control everything to live a fulfilled life. In fact, it's in releasing control that we find true fulfillment. As you go through life, you will face moments of uncertainty, moments where things don't go as planned. In these moments, remember Watts' wisdom: let go of the need to control, and trust that life has its own rhythm. When you embrace the unpredictability of life, you begin to flow with it instead of against it. You find that life becomes easier, more peaceful, and ultimately more joyful. Alan Watts shows us that true freedom comes not from controlling life, but from surrendering to it. So, the next time you feel the urge to control everything around you, take a step back and remember Alan Watts' eye-opening truth: control is an illusion. Life, in all its chaos and unpredictability, has a flow of its own. When we stop resisting, when we let go of our need to control every outcome, we allow life to unfold in its own beautiful, mysterious way. And in that surrender, we find the peace and freedom we've been searching for all along. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear how you plan to